everybody.
Hi, everyone. We're back.
We're back. Welcome to 2020. Happy New Year,
Happy
everyone.
New Year.
Good to see you guys.
Yeah, we took a little break from this.
Break. Yeah, we needed a couple of naps. So yeah, we're refreshed and energized and ready to talk to you guys again. So, yes.
So what we're going to do is think about Jesus' parable of the Good Samaritan.
Yes.
Because we're going to be doing this in church for 2 weeks because our church school is doing it for 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right?
Our children are going to be talking about it for all of January, which
All
is
of
really
January.
exciting. Yeah.
And we're going to do it in worship this Sunday and the following Sunday.
Yeah.
And it's the parable of the Good Samaritans from Luke chapter 10. And you know the story, look it up.
Yeah.
And it just is incredibly pertinent to me, given what's going on in the world with the United States and Iran and the conflict. And because here's a parable from Jesus that he uses to answer 2 questions. And the first question is from a lawyer.
Yeah.
What must I do to inherit eternal life?
Yeah.
And he's not talking about living forever.
Right.
He's talking about living with God.
With God.
Right.
Yes.
You know, if I'm going to be serious about a God life, what
do I have to do?
What do I have to do? It's a very practical question.
Yes, I like that question. Just tell me what to do. But the answer is not so easy.
No.
Yeah.
But, and the second question is, who is my neighbor?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do what must I do to inherit eternal life this week, and who is my neighbor next week. And here's the answer, though. What must I do to inherit eternal life, he asked. And Jesus says, well, what do you read in the scriptures?
Yeah.
And he says 2 things. He puts 2 passages together, kind of scotch taping these things together. Love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. Yeah. And you know what Jesus says? Yes.
Yeah. Good job. A+. Way to go. Why are you here?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So the big deal is love.
Yeah.
And Jesus then tells the story about the Good Samaritan to define what love is.
Yes.
Love isn't what we normally think.
Right.
So
it's not easy or pretty. It's tough and difficult and sometimes dangerous. I think in the Good Samaritan, that parable, some danger involved in that one. So
yeah, that's really good. All those things you said are really good.
It seems like so simple because we say that phrase all the time, but just love your neighbor. But it's not simple. It's really difficult.
So we want to challenge you to think about that.
Yeah.
We want to encourage you to think about what does what Jesus say to this lawyer, how does that apply to our current situation in the world?
Yep.
Now, in our own lives, we can probably draw the implications pretty clearly.
Oh, yeah.
When you think in a larger picture, though, this is where this gets tricky.
It really does.
And complex and hard.
Yeah.
And yet, this is exactly what we're called to do. If we're going to really take faith seriously, then we got to come up with some serious answers.
Yep.
And so that we're just saying, what do you think?
Yeah. Let us know, because Phil and I were talking earlier. We don't have the answers. We know that we need to love God and love neighbor, but how to do that is really difficult. And so we'd invite you to join us in that struggle. So we'll pick up with Good Samaritan again next week and talk a little bit more about who is our neighbor. We'll see you then.
Bye.